cheated. Can't wait to back it up. Back it up. I supply the man. I'm in demand. Soon as I land, you know I roll with them goons. In case you tried to. Okay. Words to be Scott and this motherfucker. All right, anyways. Hi, beautiful people. Honestly, I'm here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video. Dun, 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 where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives and to teach us how to become spiritual beings. My name is Amber. I do not just use tarot cards. I use God and concepts in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things. But if it does not stop Charlemagne, God, it will not stop. It will not stop. Little housekeeping item, guys. My books are open. Really quickly, those year-end readings are only going to be around for about another 3 months. So if you're interested in getting a year at a glance or any of that good shit, make sure you go ahead and check it out. If you're interested in learning more about Honestly Sis, all that information is in the description box below. And number 123, let's get it started. All right. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, we come to you as humbly as we know how to just say thank you. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to be able to connect in this way. Now, God, I ask that any information that you deem worthy for us to hear at this time, that would be good for our ascension, help us do magic in public, or anything that you just deem worthy, I ask that you please deliver these messages to me and through me as clear as possible. In God's name I pray, I shine. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Cuddy over there giving himself a bath. What up, Cuddy? What up, Cuddy? Hey, Papa. This was my dog is 5. I was lying to myself saying that he was 4, but my baby is 5. Okay, ooh, we got a card pop right out. Okay, so the card that popped right out, and it's so cute, agent number 213, is humor. I started this message off with a lot of humor, a lot of fun, a lot of energy. And so stop, Cuddy. And so I feel like God is just saying that maybe at this time of our life, we just don't need to be taking things so seriously. I don't know about you guys, but I know like I was like super into like true crime and stuff. And so I was like watching true crime shows and listening to true crime podcasts. And like all of that energy was like really fucking me up. And so I just really started making it a habit of like listening to like Jesus and Mero and like I don't know, like the Housewives or like, you know, thank God the Read is back. And so like just really listen to things that make me laugh, because laughter is really the best medicine. Like honestly, if you ever find yourself in a funk, you should just try to watch something that really makes you laugh and that makes you feel good. It'll actually shift your energy. Okay. All right, but don't take my word for it. Let's go to our Money and Law of Attraction deck to just figure out what this message of humor is all about. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, what is this information? What is this message of humor about? What do you want us to know? Why is it so important to have humor in our life? In God's name I pray. Ashe. Why is humor so important? Yeah, that's one tool that we can use. Grind. Boy, you know I grind. Okay. Why is humor so important? I can pivot under any and all conditions. You have the ability to pivot under any and all conditions, but most of you are habitual in nature, and your patterns are so well entrenched that at times the fastest path to the joy you seek is for you to take your pivot as you sleep. By reaching for good feeling thoughts before you go to sleep and then experiencing the benefit of the quiet mind that occurs while you sleep, and then upon waking, immediately turning to good feeling thoughts, you can accomplish the ultimate pivoting experience. And so I actually really love this message because this reminds me of my sleep hypnosis tracks. If you have been on this channel, Cuddy, stop. I'm sorry, y'all. He's just going through something. I don't know what's up them paws. Leave them paws alone. Anyways, so if you've been on this channel for a while, you know, like I am a huge component of sleep hypnosis tracks. And this card is talking all about that. And so the purpose of sleep hypnosis tracks, I actually have an article on Honestly Sis called Life Hacks. And life hack for meditation. And it's literally what it says. It's a life hack for meditation. If you're the type of person who has a hard time with meditating, then doing sleep hypnosis tracks is just an easier way to do that. And honestly, we say meditating a lot, but meditating is literally just taking a pause to slow your mind down, If you're the type of person that's always constantly having like a lot of thoughts like this, your mind is just always constantly going. That used to be me. And I used to honestly feel like, oh my God, I don't think that ever, I thought that was normal, but I'm here to tell you that it's not normal. Your mind is not always supposed to be just going like that. And so that's why you do meditation, to kind of stop that spiral, to slow it down. And the reason why it's so important to do meditation, because say, for example, look at this. It says, I'm always giving the essence of what I'm receiving. And I love this image because this is exactly what I was thinking about. So say, for example, you are the type of person who you're trying to, say you're working on a business or you're looking for a solution and you're just working, right? Now, say like you're the type of person that's like, you believe in God, right? And you're like, God, you pray to him. You're like, God, please just help me do X, Y, and Z. But you don't ever take that time to like actually listen. So say you say a prayer, say, God, please help me do X, Y, and Z. And then from there on, you just moving. Your mind is working. God could be giving you the answer, but because you're always going, because you're always working, you probably miss it. You probably wouldn't even hear it. And so the purpose of meditation is so that you can slow your mind down, calm your body down, slow your mind down, so that you can start to hear that information and you can really start picking up on the divine insight. And that's why, for me, yoga was such a game changer, because that was the first time that not only was I just completely immersed in my own energy, but by the end of the session, my mind was just like clear. And I was like, whoa, like this, sometimes you just feel like you're floating. And I'm like, whoa, this feels amazing. That's what that meditation is, that meditation feeling. And so I say all that to say, if you can't just sit and meditate, because I'm the type of person, I can't just sit and meditate. What I will do is I will do a whole yoga flow and do an extra long savasana. So that's where I'll try to get my meditation in there. And so if you don't have a yoga practice and you have a hard time doing meditation, then the sleep hypnosis tracks is just as beneficial, because your mind is nothing but a computer. And so when your mind is asleep, it's just like when your computer is asleep. It's still on. It's not, it may not be the batteries and the lights may be on, but it's still running. And so as you're sleeping, if you do those sleep hypnosis tracks, then it's the same thing as meditating. Your mind is more in a calmer state. You're more calm, and then you're able to kind of, get out some of those other, I don't want to say useless thoughts, but the things that like those thoughts that keep you from hearing what you actually need to hear. Angel number 745. Also, this also talked about, I just realized I do the complete pivoting experience, because it says, and then upon waking, immediately turn into good feeling thoughts. And so that's why I remember back in the day, Oprah had this big thing about having a gratitude journal. And like the first time you wake up in the morning, think about 5 things. And so this is an extension of that. So if you do your sleep hypnosis tracks, your mind has been in this beta state. It's been taking in all this good information. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you do your gratitude journal or you do your morning pages. You are already starting your day with your glass half full. And so if anything, well, actually damn near, you're already starting your day with your glass full. And so if anything happened throughout the day, you will notice that you're not falling. So, it's not taking you out, because you still have all of that goodness that's been in you. And so you keep doing that and then keep building up. And then eventually you'll get into this place where, you're able to not have those running thoughts all the time. But I feel like what God is saying is that for you guys with this humor, it's like, I think you got to stop taking the meditation so seriously and just literally look at it as just a tool to help you. And like, it's just a tool. And like, this is why you should use the sleep hypnosis tracks. Like, cause if you can't get that, cause I feel like sometimes, I'm sorry, y'all, my mind is everywhere. Sometimes I feel like people talk about meditation so much. I shouldn't have hit this weed. Moment of honesty. So, when I listen to interviews and people always be like, I be meditating, I meditate every day, I just roll my eyes, because I don't feel like for a working person, a person who's living the actual life, it's not realistic. But if you always are on a go, but you pay for your YouTube premium account, because don't get it if you ain't got a YouTube premium account, because you don't know what them ads are. You don't want to like program yourself the other way. And so if you are that person, you should pay for your YouTube premium account and then just do the sleep hypnosis tracks. Okay, I'm done. I'm not saying nothing else. God, give us a mantra that we should use to clarify this message of humor, and I can pivot under any and all conditions. Why is it so important for us to use the sleep hypnosis tracks? Why is it so important for us to use mantras or just do morning pages? Tell us anything that you deem worthy for us to hear at this time. Angel number 1040. This message clearly is all about meditation. I am still. I understand that there are times to move and there are times to be still. In my stillness, I seek greater understanding. I take time to rest and contemplate. I strive for unconditional happiness here in the present. I am still. And so this is literally the reason. This is clarifying it all. For it to come up under humor, that's the part that's kind of weird to me. Why humor? Why humor? I think, because I think sometimes we can take life too seriously. Every time I see this humor, because it's literally like a balloon and it's a clown. And it's like, I just feel like sometimes we can take life way too seriously, especially as when you grow up and you have bills and you have, kids and responsibilities. And sometimes you just feel like, I don't have time to be meditating. I don't have time for this. And it's like, actually, you don't have time not to do it. And you need to take those moments of stillness to not only replenish you, but to, get those answers that you seek as well. And also, I feel like it'll just make you a better person, all the way around. Like, just period. I really can't. I will read this message. I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. Appreciation and love and alignment to that which is source is the ultimate giving back, so to speak. For in your pain and struggle, you have nothing to give. So, a lot of us, sometimes we think that we are good people because we suffering, and it literally says in your pain and suffering, you have nothing to give to God. You're not giving God glory by you living a life of strife. You're not giving God the glory by you just being so stuck in your ways. And I just think we really have to understand that God created us because, it says in the Bible that we were created in God's image. So which means that God created us as a extension of Him. And so if there's anything that we want to experience, like, just because we are an extension of Him, it doesn't mean that we're not going to be born in weird circumstances, or that we're not supposed to we're not supposed to not have struggle at all. I think we have to realize that the whole purpose of this life is an experience. Like, God literally created you so that He can have an experience. Like, He was by Himself and He realized, like, this shit is boring. And so He created a dark version of Him and a humorous version of Him and a serious version of Him. And then He created you and He created me, and He created us because He wanted to have an experience. And so our whole life is really genuinely a hero's journey. I was recently I was watching the Hot Ones with Viola Davis, and she used this Joseph Campbell quote that says, the privilege of a lifetime is to be who you are. To be who you are is the privilege of a lifetime, which means that when we came in this world, we came in this world completely perfect. But as we, grow older, as we, get to come into contact with our family, we begin to take on the world, begin to take on our family traits. And if you don't ever get back to the root of who you really are, you will become who everybody else wants you to be. And so the hero's journey is all about you having a regular life and then you realizing that you want to do things differently. And you either can acknowledge and thank you, God, because this is actually what I'm going to talk about in my yoga class. But I genuinely believe that there's two type of people in the world. It's one person that knows exactly who they are meant to be, and they spend their whole life chasing that, becoming that thing. And then there's also that person who knows exactly who they're meant to be, and they spend their whole life resisting it. And so the whole purpose of your journey, regardless of if you're angel number 1444, whether you're 15, 16, 88, whatever, like if you have this moment of being like, oh, I've been living life this way and I don't want to live it no more, that's your call of adventure. You can either choose to go on that adventure to make that a reality, or you can spend your whole life resisting it and die miserable. But for me, I refuse to die miserable, and I refuse to not be who I want to be. Like, I spend a lot of time focusing on why I didn't do this, and it doesn't matter if I didn't go to school for this or not. I'm still have this desire on my heart. I still want to do it. It's what still excites me and keep me up at night, and so that's what I'm going to work towards. And what God is saying is that by taking these times of stillness, taking these times to contemplate, that's how we're able to pivot. Because this whole thing is saying that you can pivot under any and all conditions. God puts you, and I think that's what we also have to realize, is that you are, I keep saying, an extension of God. And I think we have to understand that by us being an extension of God and by Him placing us on this earth because He wants us to have an experience, that there is certain things that you could only gain wisdom from. You only gain wisdom by things that you go through, right? And so God placed you in certain environments because He needed you to become the person that you are today. There was a reason why God did. There was a reason why I didn't go to become an actress right out of school. There's a reason why I never went to LA. And I can say that it was because my parents, but I genuinely, at this point in my life, I believe it's a bigger purpose. It's because God wanted me to be an example of, you don't have to do the right thing right away. You can pivot under any and all conditions. I remember looking at Ava DuVernay and I was so motivated by her because if you remember her story when she first came out, it was all about how she worked in PR and then she picked up a camera and now all of a sudden she's one of the #1 directors in the world. And that really inspired me. And I realized, I was like, well, she can do it. Maybe I can do it. And so if Ava DuVernay could do that to me, well, what am I going to do for somebody else? And that's why I tell y'all have to understand that your dreams are bigger than you. You see, I come on this channel, I literally tell you guys my personal life. I tell you guys everything that's actually going on. I'm not giving you some textbook answers. I'm telling you stories from my life so that you can get an example or, whatever you can get from it, right? I'm telling you guys the wisdom that I have gained from my life. But I can never tell you guys those wisdom. I can never tell you guys these stories if I didn't go through that shit. I wouldn't even be who I was if I didn't have the betrayal that I had. I had the abandon and the abuse and the neglect that I have. I wouldn't be that person who I am. And so I can be mad that God put me in that circumstance, or I can be grateful, like, damn, God put me in that circumstance and I still became who I am. Angel number 1745. And I think about, especially now, because I'm in this place where I'm so isolated, where I don't have people rooting me on. I don't have, I don't have this friend group. I don't have a mentor. I don't have anything. It's just me trying to go after this dream. And sometimes it makes me sad because I don't have it. But then I think about, there are other little black girls, little black boys who are just like me, who have been neglected, who has been abandoned by their parent, who has, been betrayed by their parent, who's been raised by a narcissist, who had the wrong major, who got fired from, who got fired from their job, who got abandoned from their fans. And they need to see that on the other side of that, you can still go after your dreams. They need to see, I think about J and B, and I love them so much, but every time I think about them, I think about how Beyonce has this amazing relationship with her mom and her brother, her sister. And Jay has these amazing lifelong friendships that we all know, like Tata. Like we don't even fucking know Tata for real, but we know Tata, And it's number 1851. And it's like, they always, to me, I feel like they always had support systems. Like I know Jay's story like mine. And I know like Jazz saw it in him before he saw it in himself. And I don't have that story. I don't have a dad that quit his job so that he can make my dreams come true. I don't have a mom who bought me a notebook because she saw that I could write. Nobody gave a fuck about my dreams. Nobody was trying to help me be who I wanted to be. And so I could be mad at that and I can be angry with God, or I can see the victory in that. Nobody seen me. Nobody was nurturing me. Nobody was telling me who I could be. And yet and still, I'm doing it. Yet and still, I'm not only doing it, I'm working towards it, and I'm showing other people how to do it too. How fucking motivating is that? How fucking inspiring is that? Last thing, Every single thing that I've been through, when I think about the type of movies that I want to make, I'm not thinking some outer space shit. I'm thinking about my actual life. I'm thinking about the things that I actually put myself through. I want to put that shit on the big screen. Those are the stories that I want to tell. I told y'all I was sitting here watching the Gina Jones with Stella McGee, and I literally cried. The Notebook, I'd be crying because that's like, those are the stories that I want to tell. I want to show us on the big screen. I want to be your reflection. And so I don't have time to sit here and think about how fucked up my life was and how much people abandoned me. All I can think about is now I don't even care, because I think about how many millions and billions of dollars I'm going to make off of my pain. How I'm going to turn all of that strife into gold. How I'm literally minding my life experiences and figuring out, okay, so this can be a book, this can be a screenplay, this can be this. When I go out in the world, it's like, oh, okay, this. So you see what I'm saying? Instead of being mad at my circumstance, instead of being mad at everything that happened at me, because I have done this work to be still, to learn how to pivot under any circumstance, I can now see, oh, all of that good love I gave out, just because I was giving unconditional love to the wrong people, it don't mean that unconditional love not coming back to me. But the thing is, we're never going to get it if we keep focusing on the fucked up people. So it's so important for us to just pivot, to start doing those sleep hypnosis tracks. And the reason why I keep stressing sleep hypnosis tracks, because y'all, when I tell you, look, I don't need money to attract money. This world is a mental game. The moment that you can learn how to control your mind, you can learn how to control your life. And so that's why you have to do this sleep hypnosis tracks, because it's subtle, it's going to take time, which eventually you're going to see, oh, I don't talk to myself that type of way. Oh, I noticed I have a little bit more confidence being out on my own. Oh, I noticed that when I am out in the world, I'm getting different type of people are coming to me. Oh, I randomly am it feels like opportunities are just falling in my lap. This is what I'm trying to get y'all. It's not fucking magic. It's mental. It's not magic. It's mental. And if we could take that time to get still, then we can get there. Why do you think it's so many distractions? Why do you think social media exists? Why do you think, and think about it, why do you think social media exists? So you have this thing so where you could be completely isolated, but yet you can have your phone, so you're not really isolated. You have this thing where you could be bored, or you ain't really you got the smart device. Oh, you ain't really bored because now you can just stroll your phone. You got all these things taking away your quiet time, taking away your time that you can have to yourself to learn how to pivot, to distract you. All this shit is just tools. It's just distractions. Look, last message. I am receptive. I am open to new ideas. I am willing to try different methods, and I consider alternative viewpoints. I welcome intellectual stimulation. I am receptive. Angel number 2302. This is what God is saying. You need to be receptive to trying to do something different. If your vision boards haven't been working, if your vision boards haven't been working, why aren't you trying something new? If your crystals ain't working no more, why aren't you trying to get to your mind? Why aren't you trying to get to start reprogramming yourself? Okay? All right, I'm going to leave it alone. Angel number 2323. Last message, I'm going to end this card. This will work your life. Dear God, give us one final message to clarify why it's so important for us to learn to pivot under any and all conditions. Why is it so important for us to do sleep hypnosis tracks? Why is it important to approach life with humor and to be receptive to new ideas? Clarify this message. I am always giving what I am receiving. In God's name I pray. Ashe. Why do we need to know this, God? Make it as plain as possible. Yes. I love this. Just say yes. So right away, whatever that card literally says, yes. Whatever you may be having on your heart, if you feel like God has been calling you to something, asking you to do something, asking you to release something, yes. God, that is very true. God is asking you to do it. But the card that we're going to focus on in our last message is the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Angel number 2424. We are crossing the threshold. What is this all about? Okay, it's an action card. I like that. Some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrimage is required to take a reach somewhere sacred. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrimage is required to take reach somewhere sacred. But only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are now. You are being tested, initiated because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing. Oh. Initiation requires that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. Initiations, like rite of passage, marks the shift from one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seemingly hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. If you are in the middle of an initiation right now, you will soon get through it, and one day soon, you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you are closer than you think. Rite of passage, cross the threshold. And so, you guys, I love this message because this was all about, I don't, if you remember, I was telling you guys about realizing that, this time of loneliness is actually helping me and actually making me a better person. And so I don't know what things that God are asking you to go through, but I promise you that if you do, whatever you've been feeling, you feel like God is asking you to do something, this yes is a confirmation that you are to do it. And then God is also saying, oh my God, underneath this, don't dim your light to fit in. But underneath this, what God is saying to help you overcome that fear of stepping into the unknown is to do those sleep hypnosis tracks. And so I am definitely going to make sure that I list 2 articles from Honestly Sis, life hacks, as well as it was another article that I did earlier in this year. I don't know. It's going to be 2 articles, great articles for resources. So make sure that you check those out. And that's all the information I have for you guys. Just know that you have the ability to change your life, even if you try just a little bit. All right, y'all. If you made it to the end of this message, you are not subscribed. What are you waiting for? If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. If you are interested in doing a booking with me, or you are interested in a year at a glance reading, please make sure you check out the description box below. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Mwah. Angel number 2808.